This review will in fact contain major spoilers for Season 8 of Game of Thrones. The main plot points of the season revolve around defeating the Night King, the fight against Cersei, the fall of Dany as a kind queen, and Bran as ruler. Oh, and before I start, I want to say that I think each of these plot points could have been at least a season on their own, except for maybe Bran as ruler. I will also do my best to mention my thoughts on how each character arc concluded. Let's go. The Night King episode, and I say episode because it was only one in reality, was not nearly as fleshed out as it could have been. Aside from the writers wasting episode 2 to use as part of the fight against the undead, they completely rushed the death of the Night King. Realistically, there is no reason why certain characters survived the battle. Sam, Tyrion, Varys, and everyone in the crypt, even Jaime and Brienne, had no business living as long as they did, despite what you may think of those characters. I'm not an expert, but I'm gonna guess his goal was to kill Bran, which was fine, but if the Starks and quote-unquote good guys knew this, then why was the only protection he was offered Theon Greyjoy? And speaking of Theon, in my opinion, the episode set it up perfectly for him to be the one to defeat the Night King. In my perfect world, he would get stabbed like he did, and right before the Night King attempts to kill Bran, Theon in a last-ditch effort would stab him from the back. This would fully redeem Theon as a character and restore his need to be a Stark protector like he was supposed to be the entire show. There is no reason Arya should have been the killer aside from a weak callback from Melisandre in Season 6 and pure shock value. I'm a big fan of Arya, but after seeing this, I immediately thought it was A, rushed, and B, fan service. Of course, this is my opinion, you may think completely differently. Let's talk about King's Landing. The King's Landing fight also occurred incredibly fast. Quick side note, these episodes' production value are very high and the acting is also top notch. My complaints mostly lie in the writing for character decisions and how the plot ended up going. Back to King's Landing, the biggest issues with this story were Dany, Cersei, and Jaime. Jaime's entire redemption plot was completely unwritten by going back to Cersei, and while some might say it was poetic, I say no. It's not even about what I would want to happen, it's does it make sense? If you spent 7.5 seasons to write a character journey from the beginning with no buildup of a switch, then why did he suddenly switch his mindset in the last episode? Cersei stared out a window this entire season and was overly confident for no reason. Despite the fact that I'm not a huge Cersei fan, she went from a pretty calculating politician type woman to a wine-drinking window watcher. Last up here is Dany. Her story also ties into the final episode of the season and, well, her death. Dany's descent into madness was foreshadowed, I do believe this, but her immediate snap to destroy innocent people in King's Landing was very rushed. A small side note is her dragon's power level never seems to be constant. When she uses her dragon to fight against the undead, it doesn't seem to do very much, but she's able to use one dragon to destroy the scorpion weapons that Qyburn built, and all of King's Landing in a single episode. Back to Dany, her character arc was fine, just rushed. Her loss of Missandei, her other dragon I forget the name of, and her feeling alone while Jon is being super appreciated leads to her descent into madness. However, the signaling of the bells somehow triggers her to start burning innocent people as opposed to simply attacking Cersei at the tower. I'm actually okay with her death though. Finally, Bran becoming the king or ruler or whatever he is just dumb. Yes, I wanted Tyrion to be at the top, but there are a few other characters I would have accepted over Tyrion, and Bran is not one of them. Bran's backstory did not lend itself to draw the conclusion of him becoming the ruler. Jon's backstory of being a Targaryen was also just about pointless. Why Bran was chosen and how quickly it happened is probably a major reason why a petition to rewrite Game of Thrones Season 8 has over 1.5 million signatures. All in all, this season was very rushed, and the show could have ended at Season 10, but it took a lazier way out. Production and visual effects were on par with what we'd expect, but editing wasn't as good because they forgot to remove the Starbucks cup and the water bottle in certain episodes. In conclusion, the season is a 6.6 out of 10.